Papa Alhagie Samateh will come in next to talk about the technical details as far as how this company was started and all the issues involved, from the environmental issues to everything. He's going to cover it all up because these were all allegations that were made yesterday. I even had the name NDMA being plastered on our bulldozers. NDMA, National Disaster Management Agency, has no trucks here. There is no government truck, just to clarify that. You want to say something?
I think yes. Thank you very much, Banker, for raising that. I think for the record, all equipment here was procured by me, Omar Jan. And these equipments arrived here over a year and a half ago in the peak of COVID. And I had to store them at GGC for over a year, paying salaries without the business starting. So that was another provocation and something very hurtful, to be accused that this is a government business or these machines belong to the disaster recovery of the country. How wicked, how insensitive is that when someone has gone and sacrificed your hard-earned family earnings, put it in a business, and a responsible elected individual coming in and all the people around her going on that this is even government. For the record, I'll put it straight. I challenge any government institution to come and say what they owe in this business or what they have in this business. I had a tough time getting the business where it is 3 years I code. And that's all through government scrutinizing us and making us a guinea pig for this business. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you. Papa?
Okay, good morning all, and thank you. Yes, am I good? All right, good morning all, and thank you for coming here today. And we invited you all here because of certain events that happened here yesterday. I wasn't here myself, and I'm the manager of Sino Majilac Jalbak. The events that happened here yesterday that unfolded here were quite unfortunate because they could have carried it in a whole different way, but the way they carried it out, it wasn't very professional. And to have your authorities or city personnel or Banjul City Council personnel coming here like that wasn't warranted for. Anyways, I will take you through the journey which we embark on coming to get into this place. How did we get here? What are we doing here? And what is the purpose of why are we dredging this part of the country, which is Denton Beach or Oyster Creek Estuary. Okay, the sun is a little bit hot, so you have to excuse my eye blinking. All right, okay. This project started about 3 years ago, as my colleague Omar just mentioned. After a problem at the Faraba, there were lots of other opportunities in the Gambia to invest in, but we looked at investing in solving the sand mining problem. Sand is a commodity that is used in construction. It's mostly used for blocks, plastering, and concrete. And as we all know, development in today's world cannot happen without these things. The sand that is used in construction in the Gambia currently is coming from Sanyang, Tanje, Gunjur, and Batokunku area, and at some point at Faraba as well. Currently, Banjul is being developed, and the majority of the work is concrete work because it's road works, concrete works, and drainage as well. But all this sand is coming from these areas. However, the sand at these areas is finished now, and there's a great concern to look for another source. Gambia is a small country, and the Gambia faces the Atlantic Ocean, we all know. And between the villages and towns and the ocean, there is a small buffer it's a buffer with sand dunes. So we've been exploiting these sand dunes for the past few years. But currently, in most areas, these sand dunes they've been exhausted. Only a small sand dune in front of the water, which normally in many countries they leave it there to protect the individual communities from the water, in case if the ozone rises or in case if there's a storm or so. But currently these sand dunes have been exploited, so this is what makes it quite dangerous. And most of the sand that is coming from the area as well is coming from the furrows. These are the gardens the women and the farmers are using. When we started this about 3 years ago, we told the government we have interest in solving this problem. They told us, okay, you'll have to do some surveys. We did embark on surveys, which were very, very expensive. We brought a team in here in February of 2019. This was a team of 5 experts from outside, and then we had some experts, some non-experts within this, environment, geology, and so on in the country. Some of them were involved in the coastal rehabilitation work that was done here a few years ago. We embarked on surveys for about 40 days in the waters, hiring boats, bringing in equipment from, very expensive. Overall, I think it's more than 20 million that was spent in the surveys. We embarked on these surveys for about 2 months. Then we took the reports, took it to geology, we took it to NEA and to all the relevant authorities. But before embarking on that, we know that there were sand dunes, after the surveys, we know that there were sand dunes at different locations within the country. But the reason why we chose the Banjul, this is called the Oyster Creek Estuary. The reason why we started with this because there's a problem in this estuary already. Oyster Creek Estuary is where the river connecting Joswang and let's say the Atlantic Ocean. At this area, there's something that is called sedimentation. So you have a lot of sediments coming from the other end. When we say sediments here, we mean sand. A lot of sand that is coming from the other end, and the current going that way. So the sand gets dropped at this point. So this point currently is full of sand, so much so that the sand that is supposed to go to the Banjul Cemetery, the Banjul behind State House, and all the way to other areas of Banjul is not going through. It's being dropped here. A study was carried out by the Royal Haskoden of Holland. This was done about 10 years ago. They are the ones that done the rehabilitation work behind the cemetery, going all the way to behind the hotel. And from the studies, it was recommended that this area should be dredged to remove the sand in order for the sand to move to the back of, let's say, the cemetery and other areas of Banjul, because currently the sand is not moving. Whenever it comes from the ocean, it drops here. This is one problem for the sand here. The second problem for the sand is the vessels that are coming from Joshua and most of these other areas are not able to cross. If you come here in the afternoon, you will see maybe sometimes 20 to 30 boats. They will sit there for 3-4 hours waiting for high tide. When the tide rises to the highest, then they will cross. And sometimes they have their fishes, they will stay there for another 3-4 hours before they cross. A lot of accidents also happen at this place because of, because of the same sand dunes. If you ask the people of fisheries, I don't know Banjul that much, but there's a lot of people that have been coming to be. Some people are fishermen, some people are people working at the Department of Fisheries, telling us this is a very good idea. We told the government to do this a long time ago, but they did not want to do it. Because of this sand now, most of the large fishes don't cross. They don't go under, to go and breathe under the mangroves. So these are all problems associated with this sand. And it was recommended in the Royal Haskoden report that it should be removed over 10 years ago. But now when we see that we needed sand in the country, we said, okay, why can't we kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Why can't we remove the sand, solve this problem, and at the same time, we solve the sand problem in the country. This is why we started here. We could have started in Sanyang, we could have started in Tanje, we could have started in Batokunku. They have much larger areas and they have more sand than here. But the reason we started here is to solve the problem for Banjul. Currently, if you go to GGC, every time when there's high tide, you will see inside the GGC, it will be overflowed. Go there, you can go there today and ask them about that. Even 3-4 weeks ago, they called us, telling us about this. While we were there, we stored our equipment. Now and again, you see the water coming all over the place. If you go by the police station here, the same thing happens there. When the tide is too high, it will come all overflowing the whole area. How does this happen? I will give you an example just to simplify it for you. If you take a glass of water, you put sand in it halfway, then you put water in it and fill up your glass of water. You have a full glass of water. Yeah? If you take out the sand, what is going to happen? Is the water level going to rise or is it going to go down? What will happen? It will go down automatically. This is what happens here. When you have a lot of sand, the water, the same amount of water comes there every day. It rises, it goes up. But when you take out the sand, it will go down. So this is very important for this place. You know, if you ask people who know Banjul, I'm not that old, but they will tell you these dunes were not here. They were here about 20, 30 years ago. A lot of people will tell you that it wasn't like this before. You know, we did not know about that, but with studies, they said it should be removed. That's why we want to remove it. When we come to other issues about the bridge, I have some people mentioning, yeah, they are going to the Nyodama bridge, they are going to break the bridge, they are going to sink Banjul, they are going to collapse the bridge. I'll just give you a simple example again. We were dredging the ports of Banjul about 3 months ago, less than 3 months ago. When we were dredging for the ports, we were dredging the baths where the ships were bathing. This is where the ships, let's say the wharfs, where the ships were standing. Where the ships were, oh sorry. Okay, sorry about that. We were dredging the Ports Authority about 3 months ago. And when we were dredging the ports, you know, we were dredging the baths. If you go to the ports, if anybody sees where the boats and ships were, this is where they are bathing, you will see it's the same construction as this bridge. It's called piling. They take steel tubes, fill them up with concrete and steel. Dig them very, very deep down, 20 to 30 meters, sometimes even more. It's the same construction as the bridge. If you see when we were dredging the port, most of the times when we dredge about 2 meters away from these beds, they would call us back to come and dredge as close to the piers as possible. So we will have to come back and dredge almost 1 meter next to these beds, and we were dredging at some areas almost 13 meters or more. This is next 1 meter next to these piers. Currently here we are dredging about 300 meters away from the piers in this area. How is that going to affect this area? The Port Authority, they dredge it every 2 years. They've been dredging every 2 years. Have we seen the dredging affecting the Ports Authority? And they are dredging 13 meters deep. We are dredging about almost around 8 to 9 meters deep here. You know. So before making lots of comments, I think it's very important for people to request information or ask people who know. I'm not saying I'm the best person who knows, but the people that know more than me, they have been involved from the project from the beginning. When we started this project, the reason for the late start of this project is because of the environment, the geology, and the different government officials who have to do a thorough investigation of the site. Requested reports, do whatever was necessary to make sure this project is safe. And even now they are always writing letters, coming down, monitoring whatever is happening here. So a project like this, the government of the Gambia will never allow it to happen without the due process. The project started about 3 years ago. In fact, we were even frustrated. I think we had about close to 10 stakeholder meetings on this project. At this site, I think it was about 6 or 7 stakeholder meetings at this site. Collecting samples, going around, checking. And even by next week, we have another meeting on this project. So talking about the environment, if you have the Department of Environment with able people, competent people, before making comments, go and ask them what is going on. If you have issues about the structure of the bridge, you have the NRA, you have other departments, go and ask them. What is going on with Banjul? What we've seen so and so. These are the experts. They have studied this. Go and ask them before coming to make your comments. You know. So I think these are all very, very important points. Somebody from BCC called me about 3 months ago. He came here.
Just correction.
Yeah.
We had that they were not aware.
Yes.
Sorry, just quickly. Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
We had that they said they were not aware of this project, and officials of the Banjul City Council have made contact to Mr. Samateh. And you can elaborate on it.
And to myself too.
And,
Yes.
okay, and to Mr. Man.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they came here, they asked me about the project. What is going on? We told them, of course, it's sand dredging. They said, yes, but we know. But why didn't you come to the City Council, show the City Council, in a sense, to make something up? I said, look, we are dealing with the government of the Gambia. The government of the Gambia, in any project, they know the right stakeholders. It's not for investors or companies to go around looking for the stakeholders at any given area. You cannot do that. We are here to invest. We went to the government, they told us, go to so and so. They invited so and so to meeting. These are the people they think are the right stakeholders for whatever's happening. And these stakeholders have been coming here frequently, doing their job. So if you come to us, we told you, look, I told them environment is aware, fisheries is aware, all these other departments are aware. If you want further information, go to them. They will be able to tell you about the project. But I don't think they did that, because yesterday I was hearing comments how we don't know what is going on. This is on the highway. It's about 5 meters away from the main highway. And we only did the fencing here recently. This place was open and we were here for over 1 year. So if anybody tells you I don't know what is going on, I don't think it's the right information. They know what is going on. Maybe they're saying we did not go to them, but we cannot go to them because this is not our job. And for you to just bulge in here and coming down here, you did not come to me making lots of comments, I think that is wrong for investment. This is not a good sign for investment.
Sorry, Alhagie. I think the visit was premeditated, planned, orchestrated to have maximum impact to defame and damage our investment. And that's the only conclusion I can come to, because the cameras did not just appear from nowhere. They were invited.
So I think if anybody wanted information about this project, they know where to get the right information. If they're saying this is part of Banjul, this is part of KMC, we had some KMC guys pass by here, but the truth is they never bulge in with cameras and so on, and even people are telling us this area is part of KMC. I'm not saying that is right. I'm not an expert on that. I know it's before the Denton Bridge. But KMC never bulged in here, jumping, shouting, yeah, you should have contacted us, we need to make millions of money. Just like somebody was commenting on this. Whatever money is being made here, this company is a registered company. It's paying taxes like all the registered companies in the country. It's paying royalties to the government of the Gambia. And where do royalties go? They go back to the company, they go back to the country. Recently, Banjul was rehabilitated over how much? Maybe $20, $30 million. Or some people have said more than $30 million. I think that money came from the central government, or it came from the government. So monies from quarries like mines like this and other businesses is what, and taxpayers' money is what is used to do that. So when you say a project like this, Banjul is not benefited, nobody. Currently, how many people do we have here working in coming from Banjul? Huh?
Almost 50 employees totally.
Almost 50 employees here totally, and quite a lot of them are coming from Banjul. A lot of young people coming from Banjul here, they are here today. Even though since we started this project about 3 years ago, we did not make a dollar because we spent millions of dollars. And nothing has come in here, but we are here paying salaries of young people. A lot of who are from Banjul and neighboring countries, neighboring areas. So I think it's very important when we say nation building, let us put the politics aside. Let us look at the benefits of whatever we are doing. How does it affect our community? How does it affect our development as a nation? But a project like this, if we have areas like Sanyang, Tanja and others crying for help, we have areas that we have a lot of sand that is causing problems. I think automatically it makes sense to extract that and solve those problems. So this is what we are doing here. So this project is not being done underground. It's not being done behind the scenes. It's a well-known project. I'm sure a lot of people in departments, they know us because we've been going there for the past 3 years to get this project going. Everybody knows about this project. So I'll thank you for this. Anybody who has any doubts about this project, anybody who has any queries about this project, please do not go to the media and say whatever you want to say. If you don't understand something, come and ask people. If I'm not able to help you, I can guide you to people who will be able to help you. If you have any issues regarding this project, please come back. And this project is Gambians. It's Gambians who are working here, your own Gambian brothers and sisters. Today we are all telling the diasporan people, come and invest at home. A lot of them are coming down trying to invest at home. But the difficulties they are going through is what is putting a lot of people off. Because for all of us you see here, we were all in the diaspora for a long time. And we all save money, we work, we save money, and we said, let us go back to the Gambia and try and do some development in the Gambia. But if our own Gambian brothers and sisters are treating us like this, coming up, making up stories, unfounded stories, I don't think it's a good way of inviting your brothers and sisters to come and invest in our small country. Gambia today lacks investment. Gambia today is behind a lot of other different neighboring and other countries, simply because of we do not encourage each other. I think this is very important. When we see other people that are not Gambians, a lot of the time they come and do whatever they feel like doing in the country. But when we see our own brothers and sisters struggling to do something for our country, for some reason we want to undermine them. We want to look at them down, or we want to look at them as they are substandard. They are not as good as the other people. But a lot of our own brothers and sisters are whooping these people in exams and in whatever studies outside. So when they come to the Gambia, why can't we give them the chance, the opportunities to develop our own country? Do we think the people from outside are going to come here and develop this place for us? Let us encourage each other. Let us work together. This is Gambia. Banjul is for all of us. Gambia is for all of us. We will not want to do anything that will damage our country, especially our only capital, Banjul, the city of Banjul, which we all love. We are doing this project because of our love for Banjul. We could be in Sanyang, Tanje or Tujareng, much bigger. Look at here, we are very restricted. The area is so small, it's so tight. You know, economically it's not even that viable because it's so small. We cannot have many trucks here. We even have a limited time of opening because of the traffic. But we're doing all this to solve the problem in Banjul. Yes, government was told to pay. In fact, they started the process of clearing this place, I was told. They even have some budget, but it wasn't enough. If you ask people who know, they will tell you about 8 or 10 years ago, they tried to remove this. They came up with a budget, the contractor told them it was too small. But later, I don't know what problems happened there. Now you have a company that is doing that for free, opening the waterways for the fisheries people, opening the waterways for the boat people that are passing, making sure that, you know, the area is safe for Banjul. Let us support each other, please. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.